In football, perfection doesn't exist. Not across 38 games. Not in the most competitive league in the world. Even the greatest teams lose eventually. But in 2003-2004, something happened that still feels impossible today. A team went through the entire league season without losing a single match. 38 games, 26 wins, 12 draws, 0 defeats. They scored 73 goals and conceded only 26. This wasn't a small underdog league either. This was the Premier League, the English Premier League, one of the most brutal competitive leagues. This was the era of fierce tackles, intense rivalries, and some of the greatest players the league has ever seen. And standing above all of it was one team, Arsenal, led by the revolutionary manager Arsène Wenger. Arsenal achieved something no modern team had done before, and no team ever replicated it. But the Invincibles weren't built overnight. They were carefully constructed over the years through smart recruitment, tactical evolution, and fierce rivalry with the most dominant team in England at the time, Manchester United. This is the story of how Arsenal built the Invincibles. The Invincibles didn't appear suddenly in 2004. They were the result of years of recruitment by Wenger, who had a specific vision for the kind of team that he wanted to build. When Arsène Wenger arrived in 1996, English football was very different. The league was physical, direct, and built around long balls and strength. Wenger had a different philosophy: technical players, fast-passing football, intelligent movement, modern fitness and diet. At first, many in England doubted him, but his recruitment would soon change everything. The first major signings. One of Wenger's first key additions was Patrick Vieira, signed in 1996 from AC Milan. At the time, Vieira was just 20 years old and relatively unknown, but Wenger saw something special. Vieira quickly became the heartbeat of Arsenal's midfield. He had incredible physical presence, elite passing abilities, leadership qualities, and he would go on to captain the Invincibles. Dennis Bergkamp, although signed just before Wenger arrived, Bergkamp became central to Wenger's system. The Dutch playmaker brought something England rarely saw at the time: creativity, vision, and technical brilliance. Bergkamp operated between midfield and attack, linking play and creating space for runners around him. The most important transfer, Thierry Henry. In 1999, Wenger made what would become one of the greatest transfers in the Premier League history. He signed Thierry Henry from Juventus. At the time, Henry was not a striker. He had struggled in Italy playing as a winger, but Wenger had a vision. He converted Henry into a central forward. The result? Henry became one of the most complete strikers football had ever seen. During the Invincible season, he scored 30 Premier League goals and won the Golden Boot. Strengthening the defense. To dominate England, Arsenal also needed few defensive powers. One of the most controversial transfers in the Premier League happened in 2001. Sol Campbell. Campbell shocked football by leaving Tottenham to join their biggest rivals, Arsenal, on a free transfer. It was one of the boldest moves in the Premier League history, but it worked perfectly. Campbell became the leader of Arsenal's defense. Alongside him was Kolo Touré, originally signed as a midfielder. Wenger converted him into a centre-back. Touré brought speed and aggression, forming an excellent partnership with Campbell. And the fullbacks, two players who were essential to Arsenal's attacking style, Ashley Cole and Laurent, both consistently overlapped the wingers and helped create width. This made Arsenal incredibly difficult to defend against. And the midfielders. On the wing, Wenger added players who could both score and create chances. Pires, signed from Marseille in 2000, during the Invincible season, he scored 14 league goals. And Freddie Ljungberg, a tireless runner, known for his intelligent off the ball and late runs into the box. The final piece, the goalkeeper. In 2003, Arsenal signed Jens Lehmann from Borussia Dortmund. Lehmann replaced longtime keeper David Seaman and immediately became a key part of the team. During the Invincible season, he kept 15 clean sheets. By 2003, Wenger had assembled a perfect balanced squad: speed in attack, creativity in midfield, power in defense, but there was one obstacle standing in the way of dominance. That was Manchester United. In the late 1990s and the early 2000s, English football was dominated by one man, Sir Alex Ferguson. Under Ferguson, Manchester United has won multiple Premier League titles, and even the famous 1999 treble. When Wenger arrived, Ferguson saw him as a threat. Their rivalry quickly became one of the fiercest in football history. And they had a clash of styles. Ferguson teams were known for aggression, speed, relentless pressure. Wenger's Arsenal were different. They were more focused on technique, movement, and intelligent positioning. Every match between the two teams felt like war, and the Battle of Old Trafford in 2003 shows. One of the most famous matches came early in the Invincibles season. Arsenal traveled to Old Trafford. The game was incredibly tense. Late in the match, Manchester United were awarded a penalty. Up stepped Ruud van Nistelrooy. If he scored, Arsenal would lose their unbeaten run. Van Nistelrooy struck the ball, and it hit the crossbar. Arsenal players immediately surrounded him in celebration. The match ended 0-0. The scenes afterwards became known as the Battle of the Buffet. After food, including pizza, was thrown in the tunnel. The rivalry reached a boiling point. The Invincible season begins. Arsenal started the 2003-04 campaign strongly. The team's attacking football was breathtaking. Henry, Bergkamp, Pires, and Ljungberg consistently rotated positions, confusing defenders. One of the most remarkable statistics from this season was Arsenal scored in every single league match. This meant that even when they played poorly, they always had a chance to get something from the game. And the mental strength they had. Going unbeaten isn't just about quality, it's about mentality. There were many games in the season where Arsenal had to dig deep. They drew matches they could have lost. They scored late goals. They stayed calm under pressure. As the season progressed, the media began to talk more and more about the possibility of an unbeaten campaign. Every opponent wanted to beat the team that ended the streak, but Arsenal kept finding a way. The defining moment came in April 2004. Arsenal traveled to face their biggest local rivals, Tottenham Hotspur. The match finished 2-2. The result secured the Premier League title for Arsenal. Winning the league at their rival stadium made that moment even sweeter for Arsenal fans. But completing the Invincible season, Arsenal still had several games to play. The pressure was enormous, but the team held their nerves. They finished the season with 26 wins, 12 draws, and 0 losses. A record that had not been achieved in the English top flight since the 19th century. To honor that achievement, the Premier League awarded Arsenal a special gold trophy. And honestly, when teams like Bayern Munich couldn't even done that in the Bundesliga, and only recently Bayer Leverkusen managed to do it, that makes it so much special. And the legacy. The Invincibles became one of the most iconic teams in football history. Many teams since then have come close, but none have matched the feat. Not dominant sides like Manchester City or Liverpool. The 2003-04 Arsenal team remains unique. A perfect balance of skill, power, and intelligence. And that's why, more than 20 years later, they are still simply known as the Invincibles. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy content like that, and make sure to leave a like as well. Until next time, Ball Legends out.